Congratulations, ladies and gents. We've done it. We've won the next crypto gem. At least we have in this imagined reality. What has this done to the price of Jewel? Did PvE come out? How many new users did we acquire? And are we still debating whether or not hot dogs are sandwiches? I mean, can you guys believe that's still going on? The answer to these questions and more on tonight's episode of A Candor Gander. Baby, mission accomplished. Good job, guys.
Yeah, baby.
Take that.
Yeah,
take
baby.
the credit. Are you guys excited? Are you guys as excited as I am? I am thrilled. I've come back from the future. We all have, and we're gonna relay to you all what we've seen. Now, remember, this is a very speculative show, so please take everything said tonight with a grain of salt.
Then tell me, future boy, who's president of the United States?
Now, Doc Brown, that is a loaded question in 2023. I won't answer that. I will defer the answer to that question to my lawyer, the fish or the dog. You can choose. I call them Surf and Turf and Associates. In private. But anyhow,
Surf and Turf LLP.
Yeah, there you go. Starbuck, welcome back. I mean, dude, can you believe it? We've done it. It happened.
In many moons, mission accomplished. With the amount of strategy that went into this, there's no telling how high we could go.
That's right. Well, spoken like a true Californian. How high can we go? Matty Pask, bro, it happened. Can you believe it?
Sarge, I can't believe it. And if I was going to talk to anybody about it, I'm so pumped to talk to you about it, to be honest.
Of course. Brown Gent, I mean, I don't, roller coaster of a ride. Tell me, emotions, where are you?
I'm so pissed. Like, honestly, dude, like, I missed out. I don't have enough Gen Zeros. You can't find them anywhere. They're sold out. Where are they? The worst.
Sticks intern. Aren't you proud, like that I picked up my 2 Gen Zeros? Bro, how pumped.
I'm very proud of that, Sarge. But, like, as far as where we've come today, I did not realize there was going to be an acrobatics contest as part of this. And I'm just amazed that Kingdom Studios showed out so well and brought home the dub, even that far outside their expertise.
Dreamer can do flips.
It was absurd, like a flying bloater.
And that thing,
the fact that he did his winning interview flying from an airplane
is incredible.
Insane.
Impressive.
He means dragged, by the way. He's being towed through the air by the plane.
It's impressive to see. Christian Peter, bro, can you believe it? I mean, we've talked and it happened.
Whew. Well, when Brian D. Evans voted for the gang, I was stoked. I knew that we had a really, really good chance. But then Leia, oh my God. She changed her mind. She flip-flopped on us. She went a different direction. But then it left it up to George. I am George and Grady with his big payday, and they made it happen. They made it happen. I was so stoked. Anyway, episode 6 was a blast.
Oh my God!
Grady super chats carried the day.
Oh yeah, no kidding, boy. What at what point do we build a shrine for the guy? Well. I was very excited for this. It literally came to me. I was laying down in bed and I shot up and I said, oh my God, like the dots finally connected for me, at least, about how genius this all is and how epic this all can be. And, we're from the future, how epic it was. So I lived in LA for a better part of my life, most of my life. and I still listen to LA news talk show or talk radio. And it's on the news all the time. I don't know how often you hear it all in terms of your day-to-day news, but you hear it a lot there. It matters. Something called the writer's strike. And I connected the dots. I was like, oh my God, of course. A writer's strike might mean nothing to you unless you're in the entertainment biz. And it certainly really means nothing for me at this point in time, except for the fact that the last writer's strike 15 years ago paved the way for a whole new realm of television like you've not seen it before. Reality TV was huge in 2007, 2008, and it was huge the writer's strike before then in 1988. In 88, we had shows popularized like Cops and America's Most Wanted. In 2007, 2008, we had shows like Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Kitchen Nightmares. Whether or not you like those shows, they're huge. They're huge staples even today. I mean, they're names you recognize. Today, I saw this interesting article on Rolling Stone debating, hey, you know what? We're kind of torn. Hollywood's kind of torn. Or at least reality TV show producers, they're torn because they know what writer's strike mean for them. It means big bucks at not big prices. The amount of money it takes to produce a reality TV show versus producing a full-fledged insert name of any Star Wars or Marvel or any other TV show. I mean, it's just, pennies on the dollar. With that said, how pumped were you all to be not just featured on the next Crypto Gem, but hell, we won the next Crypto Gem? What did winning mean for the project?
Well, obviously, it laid all of our suspicions to rest. I can't believe PvP came out during the streaming or during the debut of Next Crypto Gem. It's almost as if they've been working their butts off those last couple months to get it out. I think that when we all finally found the fact that they dropped that page 10, I mean, that was just the cherry on top, wasn't it?
Page 10 was definitely the reason to stick around.
Page X.
No, I was really nervous going into that first episode. The one where there was just all the applicant videos. I was frightened that we were about to, Will hung this thing and just become famous for poorness, And fortunately, that didn't happen. We advanced past that stage. The video was killer, and just every episode after that, it was challenge after challenge. The team showed their strength, and I was mind blown. And then, as Starbucks said, PvP came out. We've been jamming that every time. It's been so fun streaming this with you guys.
Well, all right. I think it, very interestingly, that they got all of these onboarding situation secured exactly when the show came out. Was very convenient. They make these partnerships and they set up this system so that you can just log in and play the game. Was a key factor in winning the show. I'm drawing a blank on what it's called.
Was key
Crypto Gem, whatever. Yeah.
Private
You forget.
Right. But the fact that they had the holiday partnership and like the fact that like people who were not aware of crypto watched the show and then logged in, the fact that they had that ready to go as soon as people watched the show, that was such a key thing that led to the success of the game. Is that the onboarding was streamlined so that non-crypto people can just get right into it after watching the show. I think that was vital to the entire ecosystem. And maybe a big reason why, like mid-season, why people started jumping on board is because you could just log in and play immediately and didn't need to go through the rigmarole of a wallet and connecting a wallet and figuring out how crypto works. Like, if you can just log in and play, that is so huge for the game in general, especially if the show opened up the market to all these people who are unrelated to crypto, and then they could just come in. That was so key.
Did the show get the eyes, the viewers we were all expecting, Christian?
It was insane. I mean, the show went out to 110 million households, and 109 million people signed up for DFK the next day. It was absolutely incredible. I've never
90%.
seen that smooth of an onboarding process. I mean, it was like an NFT mint. It just went off without a hitch. There was no problems whatsoever. I can't even believe the chains are handling this type of transaction volume. I mean, on DFK chain yesterday, we saw over 300 million transactions in one day. It was absolutely crazy. I mean, these heroes are questing so often now. It's absolutely nuts to me. I think that we've burned, what is it? We have a supply of 125 million. We burned 123 million Jewel in the first week. Oh my
You guys
God.
believe that?
It's absolutely crazy. Yeah, I can't believe the numbers.
There's only 1 million Jewel left. And
Brown-
Zero, it's all of it.
Brown Jen's like, okay, all disbelief has been suspended.
Yeah, what?
What are your
So you
thoughts,
know
though?
what?
I mean, all belief has been you've ceased believing what we're spewing. But I mean, in reality, let's say we are on the show. Let's say we do win. Brown Gent, what does that do to the ecosystem as a whole? What has that done to the ecosystem?
Are we talking that we haven't won? Because I thought we did, and
We
me,
did.
If you have more, do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let me tell you something.
We're in character.
when we won, like, I mean, I was just happy to be featured. I didn't even think we would make it. I was hoping we would because we sort of know how great we are. We've heard all the bullshit from everybody else. We finally made it. I was just happy to be there. But it's like when your team makes the playoffs and you're like, you know what? The Toronto Raptors, perfect example, made the playoffs of the NBA, never won it. Did I think Kawhi was going to take us all the way? No way in hell. And every time we made it, I was there. And when we made to that final vote, when George sort of brought it home for us, blew my mind. And then it blew my mind as well how fast the people took what was said there and actually came on here, right? What's crazy to me is now we're like top 20 market cap in crypto coins for Jewel. And it's incredible. Wow. My biggest regret is I didn't pick enough up. And the other thing that's crazy is now everyone who's talking about hero inflation is saying there's not enough heroes. People got to stop more often. We got to reduce the cooldown time because there's not enough heroes going around for all people enjoying.
I love the banter, guys. Let's reel it back a bit. And
I got one more. This is a good one. Halliday's Boon. Taking the new player onboarding hatch time from 1 week to 20 seconds, that was huge.
Hey. By the way, great interview, Christian. I caught most of it, and then I rewatched it and caught the second piece of it. Kudos to you. Let's reel it back a bit, and let's talk a bit more serious. And as much as I say a bit more serious, because my next question is a serious question. Let's talk about the price of Jewel. There is that one person somewhere out there who, in their head, thinks that if we don't hit $100 having won the game, for Jewel, then it's a bust. But before we talk about price speculation for Jewel, I have the urge to play this real quick. All right, it's reckless speculation, but I mean, right now, today, Jewel sits at around 11 cents a piece. I mean, realistically, being featured on the show and winning the show, what's your price point? At what point are you sort of happy with the number? Is it 20 cents? Is it $1? I mean, in your head, what's that number we would be hitting if and when we win?
For me, it's not a number. It's a period of time. 2 bull runs from now.
For me, I care about more users on platform, more walls being created. If you look at what Longzai said at the end of 3xB, you got tons more users who sort of joined after 3xB because of all the noise from the community and sort of the attendance there and sort of the presentations. Sort of, if we see that kind of growth, I'm not worried about the price of Jewel short term because, as we know, Druid 72, as you know, there's sort of other factors like the bull run and everything else. If we get the users, the price will go up over the long term. And that's all we care about. So I want to see more users.
I don't think anybody who's serious about this, who's invested in this project or who cares about this is, yes, we obviously want Jewel to increase. It's fun. It's exciting. to watch the charts and stuff like that. But no one who's playing this game is like, my involvement in this project is dependent on Jewel. Like, that's insane. If you're doing that, then you're not paying attention. Like I think, watching hero prices, watching, number of wallets, number of new wallets weekly and stuff like that. Like, those are better measures of the game's success, quote unquote. You know what I mean? Yes, Jewel increases. Everyone's going to be happy for sure. We're all going to be pumped up. We all have Jewel bags of our own, whatever those are. But like, I think there's so many other measures that we're all watching that we want to see increase, especially new users being the biggest one of them. That's what we care about. And I think, I don't know. I think asking about the Jewel price is not necessarily the best question of, is the game doing well?
Fair.
I was just so stoked, guys, because I had all of these 50,000 Jewel buys in at 10 cents, and this one guy just kept selling me 50,000 Jewel at a time at 10 cents. I was amazed. It was absolutely insane. So I got 5.5 million Jewel at 10 cents, and of course, now that it's passed up Bitcoin and market cap, I mean, I'm doing pretty happy right now, guys. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, it was just it was crazy.
But so
why not
Ethereum yet, right? Because Ethereum is shut, right? Yeah,
Ethereum has tripled in value. Yeah, Bitcoin not so much, but yeah, Jewel's right on Ethereum's heels.
Am I the only one that's surprised that the Mythic Squad bought an NFL team?
Oh man, I can't wait till DFK guilds are now manipulating real life economies.
Yeah,
that'll be the day. I will interrupt our regularly scheduled program to play a little game that in my head was really well produced, and Grady was very gracious about providing me audio clips. I just ran out of time, but with all that said, I think it'll still be worth your time. So let's play a little game I'm calling Yeah Baby, Oh Maybe, or Nah Baby. I'm going to ask each of you a unique question, and you'll tell me whether or not, it's a yeah baby, maybe, or a nah baby, based on the question you're asked. You're all getting different questions. And we'll go ahead and start with, let's go reverse order here. Christian Peter. All right. I know we just said, we're rivaling Bitcoin, but realistically, hey, today, Jewel's coin market cap ranking is 118. Do we break the 400 mark ranking? Is that a yeah baby, maybe, or not maybe, not baby?
That is a yeah, baby. We definitely are going to break through the top 100. We're climbing our way up every single day, baby. This is like sell your kidneys, mortgage your house, sell your children, buy Jewel. This is the time. This is the time. You got to get as much as you can. Fill your bags, baby. This is it. This is the one chance you're going to get. Before this game comes out, it was like very low, and now we're all watching this thing. It's just moon. Get your moon bag ready. It's nothing but up from here.
That's right. I love it. Sticks intern, question for you. Question for you is, oh, here we go. Here's a good one.
What is the rule of perpetuities?
No, here's the question. Dreamer and Fox become mainstream faces the way Kim Kardashian and Gordon Ramsay are. Is that a yeah, baby, nah, baby, or oh, maybe?
Can I give it a yeah, baby to Gordon Ramsay, but maybe to Kim Kardashian?
That's fair.
I don't think I can think of a single person in the world who has more fame than her. Honestly, maybe Trump.
But you think the fame comes? It's coming.
Spectrum. Oh yeah, well yeah. I think at least Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, baby. But will it be the peak? Will they be the most famous people in the world after just this show? I give it another year at least. Another year.
It's after season 2 when Dreamer was a judge for winning on the first one, that he does get that.
That's the Bachelor,
Worldwide
Bachelorette,
notoriety.
right? They pick the second place person to go to the next one. Yeah.
And I cheated. I jumped ahead to season 3 as well, and they actually bring Frisky Fox in as one of the VCs.
Oh, we've done that well.
That's
love
fun.
He has huge Kim Kardashian butt implants at that point, which were amazing.
Just perfect.
Which are
Like,
amazing.
Little jiggly in the Frisky baby.
Well, I love that. Yes. Brown Gent, question for you. Jade and Crystal, stop dumping green candles. Yeah, baby. Oh, maybe or not, baby. What happens after we win?
I feel like that was a targeted question. But
that was a very targeted question.
Finally, baby. I've been waiting. I don't think I lived through the day.
Green candles, here we come. I love it. I love it. Maddie, question for you. As a result of winning the show, DFK gets a big time celebrity playing the game. What do you think? Yeah, maybe. Yeah,
that's it. That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby, I love it. Are you kidding me? That'd be great.
I just want to chime in here. By hypothesis, we already have the biggest celebrities in the world in the game.
Oh well, that's
very, your question.
Very kind of you
to
say about me.
I mean, yeah. I mean, what's the guy? Henry Cavill, right? He's like a nerd. If he started playing, that'd be awesome, right?
Eric Ebron is in the game,
right? Yeah, that was he bought some.
He was,
heroes.
but is he still in the game?
I don't know. And did he tweet that, or did like some assistant?
So let me ask you the question: likely, who's most likely to be that celebrity? I see some names here in the chat: Post Malone, Elon Musk, or Henry.
Well, Post Malone bought the One Ring. That was cool. That was cool that he bought that.
He went on Joe Rogan actually and talked about how great Magic was like this week. So
yeah, I mean,
amazing. You know what I mean?
Again, Sergeant, I feel like you need to like tamper your expectations. Like the Kardashians are not going to be in DFK, even if it is the best.
I'm not
like shooting for Taylor Swift or bust, Maddie.
I mean,
the show will be called Keeping Up with the Pie Faces.
I would love actually, and I would do it. Obviously, I would volunteer if someone needed to explain to Taylor Swift how DFK works. I would gladly do it. And be that I would be that ambassador for the community if we needed it, if someone needed it,
No,
I would do it. Yeah,
it was the on.
Actually, we'd probably vote for Brown Jet. Brown Jet would probably be better than I doing that.
Thanks for volunteering to take one for the team, Maddie. Starbuck, question for you: we win the next crypto gem. A new guild develops as a result of the show, made up of entirely new faces.
Ooh.
People you've never seen in DFK. Is that a yeah, baby, oh, maybe, or nah, baby?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, baby.
Definitely. I mean, I can't imagine that they wouldn't. I mean, there's people in the game right now that we probably haven't even heard of that are probably looking at each other like, oh my God, these guys are, these guys are making it big. These guys are on mainstream TV now. We can probably do that too. And then when you have other guilds like ADFK and Mythic Squad and Unity, and there's a lot of guilds that are promoting other guilds already. I think we've mentioned it all the time that like we need to see other guilds grow, or else the guilds that are left really won't have a space to compete in. And I think in the future, as the game progresses and you can actually do something with the land, there's obviously going to be a draw to that, because if I invest into land, you better bet, I'm going to want to take all the advantages that come with that. And if having a guild is one of the biggest elements of that, then I'm going to do whatever it takes to put a guild together. We could even see people that ask other people to help them start their guilds. There's a lot of opportunity for a lot of us to win. You've all heard us say our theme is win together. And we're sticking to that till the very end, moon or bust.
I love it. Question for all of you. We'll end it here. As far as those questions go, who is the most likely streamer or YouTube channel to hit 100,000 subs other than Grade A?
Oh, dude.
And I say other than Grady because I mean he's a
Grady.
low-hanging fruit based on his connections. Other than Grady, who's the next likely person to hit 100,000 subs? If it's gonna happen, I mean, I don't know.
Probably
What?
Christian.
yeah, probably Christian. Yeah.
Probably Christian. I love it.
Christian's a safe bet. I'm gonna go with Raph and Neindorf.
Yeah.
Adventures in DeFi Kingdoms.
Well, especially because they've been hinting at a game that they're
they've got the
developing.
game coming out. That's exactly.
Yeah, they've been
got a good
developing a
one.
little game that's very fun.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anymore.
No, you
I think-
played it? You got it?
I think
set?
the
I have no information.
yeah, the Mythic Squad could go to that coveted $1 million or 1 million sub count based on the fact that they had the summoning event of the century where
True.
they did have some guest appearances on there. You know, from different.
I love it. And you guys are very well organized.
We lost you, Christian. I think.
We lost your audio, Christian. I saw Billie Eilish's name get brought up, and I'd love to see her Gen Zero smashed together.
No, BG, I'm gonna vote for you.
What does
You're
that
another
mean?
well-organized individual. All right. Back to the questions. Open-ended questions here for everyone. There have been rumors of a super secret, ultra hidden dev release. Right, or so I've been told, or I've heard somewhere. I don't know. I heard it somewhere. As you know, the super secret something was announced well in advance of the end of of the series. We saw DFK win. What was that super secret something that we were unaware of, not on the roadmap, and got released?
PvE.
PvE. That PvE is on the roadmap. It just down
Partnership
here.
with Disney.
Way down. That's what makes it secret.
Disney partnership. We're bringing all the kids. Get the summoning.
That'd be wild.
Yeah.
That would be
Those-
huge.
Make it part of
Those
Disney World.
visual unknowns were Mickey Mouse.
It's like Ferndale is part of Disney World.
Maddie,
I love that.
I have no idea. I actually don't know what you're referring to be honest.
I'm referring. I think I heard it on one of Grady's streams. I don't know.
Well, I just remember the question because I laughed so hard at Starbucks joke.
But I think what I heard was
What is the team secretly working on that we don't know about?
there's apparently disbelief, Maddie. Disbelief.
Okay, sorry. All right, yeah, you're
It
right.
was real. As soon there was
Right.
a
I
secret
can't
something that got
believe-
released.
I can't believe they had an augmented reality game in the fashion of Pokemon where people were walking around finding crystals, finding mats that were just in their community. And when they
That'd
looked
be
at their
fun.
phone, instead of seeing a Pokemon, we could see like our heroes that were walking around with us.
That'd be
And I
super
can't
cool.
believe they got XP for us getting fit.
Yeah. Well, we've got some people saying combat, PvP, PvE. We've got others. Yeah. What
Well,
if, Maddie?
this
What
is
if?
Is the
something-
travel
wait,
system on the roadmap? I don't remember, but like
this is
maybe
something
if-
that Starbuck, you guys have hinted at this in your Mythic Squad post that like you think the PvP is like way further, like whatever the testing ground they have on the team, like you think it's way further along than what we're getting. And I kind of believe that,
Mosh
maybe
does.
Mosh said that, but like
Mosh does, and with talks that we've had, there's some speculation that PvE may be further along than we believed.
I think that's fair. I think it's a fair guess at like that they're what they're saying to us publicly is different than what they actually have ready to go.
Yeah,
I think
they've
that's a
learned their
fair-
lessons of saying, "Hey, this is coming at this
Right,
time."
right,
Yeah. Heck, page 10.
exactly.
Well, from what
I
I've
think
heard,
it's a fair guess is that they have a version of PvP that's like very polished, very ready that they're not sharing right now. And I think that's on. I wouldn't even fault them for that. I think that's a smart move to do is to keep it under wraps. So I think that's very much possible.
from
In
what
terms
I've
of
heard, it's not that it's not
secret,
ready. But from what I heard, it's not that it's not ready. It's just they're being more strategic with how they launch it, because launching
Right.
something when people are ready for it is pointless. And this is
Right.
sort of what's been shared. Like, this is sort of the worst kept secret because they've sort of told everyone basically some variation of it. They even had like some people go to like a Wisdom Studio, I think, like what was this, like the start of the year, to show them
Mhm.
some part of the that. So everyone who there said, hey, like they're further along than letting people know. And it's because, and I'm glad to see they're being strategic, right? Like imagine trying to launch something like this, capture wide audience when people don't have the money and people are sitting here going, I can't afford to pay my rent. I can't afford to pay for groceries, right? That won't be top priority. I mean, it's our top priority either way, but not theirs, right?
No, right, yeah.
And also, if you were to happen to be a contestant on a TV show that will multiply your interests by times 10, maybe timing it with that TV show would be strategic decision,
Right. And maybe you would have initially aimed for when the TV show was initially aiming for in July.
And now they, well, is that public knowledge? Oh shit! I'm sorry, my background.
What public knowledge that the TV show is trying to come out?
There's a lot of children working back here, Maddie.
I think I saw an Oompa Loompa.
Is that one of my cousins?
Sorry. Is it public knowledge that the TV show got delayed? Is that public knowledge?
It is now.
We're aiming for July, and that it is now coming out in September. I don't think there were ever any delays. It was just like, hey, we're aiming for July. Telegram chat.
Going back to what I started off with, I think it's all strategic. I think they're mad geniuses. They know what they're doing. They pushed it to September because, lo and behold, that's the start of the fall lineup. And if you don't got a fall lineup because people are on strike, both writers and actors, what are you going to show? Bam! Next Crypto Jam. Christian Peter, speculate with me.
Let them strike.
What's getting
catch up on anyways?
What's getting released, Christian? What's coming out that we don't know about that they've been keeping under wraps?
Yeah, well, there tends to be this really cool order book DEX, but it actually gets utilized on so many other places other than just one chain. In fact, it becomes the number one DEX. Uniswap is like just an afterthought because there's this amazing DEX that can do just any type of ERC20 transaction that you ever wanted to do with no slippage. And so there you go. You've got this amazing tool now that every single blockchain is going to turn to because it's so easy to use. And it's just, it's basically free. I mean, you can onboard people in, you can use Swipelux, you can use your crypto wallet, or you can use Holiday, and you can just log in with Google, buy whatever crypto you want, trade it on any other chain you want to, and it just becomes billions and billions of transactions on a daily basis. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why people didn't see this coming. I guess they were thinking this bazaar was going to be something that it wasn't. But I mean, this bazaar is going to turn out to be the next crypto gem.
Oh,
wow!
I love that.
Wow.
On that note, let's move on to our next question. I love it. Yes, you all know we've received an influx of players. What did we say? Over 100 million new players. Right. What's one tip you have for those people other than the obligatory do your own research because that's just boring? Give me a tip, give me a gem to share with them.
The first people coming in, you go to the tavern, you pick the highest level heroes you can get off that market because once all the floodgates come in, all those other people, they're going to be fighting for level ones and buying up stamina potions just to be able to play the new content. So if you're there early, grab up those high level heroes that people are ridiculously leaving on the market for low prices. NFA, not advice of any kind, of any way. I don't even know if I am insane.
You know what I should have done? I should have done this before asking that question. Gary Gensler is the watcher.
Well, he's watching. But also, I would jump in and say, welcome, obviously. But how do you want to play this game? And that's the beauty of the fucking game is, do you want to be a crafter, a profession guy who gets to, do you want to be competitive in the PvP? Like, how do you want to play the game? That's a question you have to answer when you jump in, because there's going to be a market for a million different things that you can do in it. And if you want to be the guy that makes the one bow that is the strongest bow in the game, then buy and build your heroes for a certain crafting. like that question is so open-ended because like the game is going to be this open-ended RPG, and that's like the beauty of it. It's why I'm so into it, is that like you could do a million different things. Like obviously if you want to be a top PvP player, then here's X, Y, and Z. Here's a bunch of 5-hour videos you have to watch of me and Wowie bullshitting for many hours. But I think it depends on what you want to do, and that, I mean, that's going to be my number one question to new players is like, what do you want to do? I mean, sky's the limit. And if you want to do X, Y, and Z, you know, there's ways to do them in the game.
Did you guys ever expect that Bolon would be a judge on America's Got Talent? And they did it in Florida. That stupid gator.
I love it. You're killing
So what I was saying is, sorry, go ahead.
No. Brown Jen, I want to hear it.
I was just going to say, like, my angle is, even before going through this, what we got to remember is, like, we've all been in this game for 2 years ish.
Yeah.
So super complicated. There are amazing onboarding tools like Unity or other guilds where I would send them to before I even ask the question of, hey, what do you want to do? I want you to sort of learn the ecosystem, learn what's out there, and then decide and have like an accountability person who like onboards you as well. Like somebody who can like walk you through the ropes. Like think about when Two Honest started, right? Like Grady got him involved, and now all of a sudden now he's doing his own streams for the community every night or every few nights doing that. That sort of opens the doors and gets people like, hey, like, do I want to be a summoner? Do I want to go to the tavern and do this? So that like otherwise what's going to happen is they're going to like sort of go in so many different angles before really knowing what's out there, and then sort of going, oh, well, I like this better, right? So that's probably what I would do. Like get them somebody who's experienced, onboard them that way, and then like walk down a certain path. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Shout out to AOP.
There you go. Starbuck, KP, and yeah, anything to add there? I mean, what's the tip you offer someone who, you know, they've watched the show, they love what they've seen, they jump on easily because of Halliday. Shout out Halliday. And you know, now they're in. You know, what's the tip other than do your own research?
KP, go ahead.
I don't think anybody needs to do research because Beav already did the research for them. So it's very, very easy for people to come in and just start playing, start having a good time, do what you like to do. I mean, I think Maddie's right. There's so many different directions you can go in, but in Brown Gent, you nailed it on the head. You know, you've got to have a little bit of mentorship as well. So watch the videos, watch Sarge's old videos. You know, he gets the entire community involved. Watch Mythic Squad do their summoning. You know, watch Wowee and Maddie talk about reckless speculation when it comes to PvP. Watch the Brown Gent taking profits all the way up, you know, and selling right before it goes down. I mean, it's just amazing people out in the community that are doing so cool content. And, you know, there's plenty of stuff out there that you can find that's going to really guide you on your path. I wish that we had some of this when I got into this, because I started buying heroes and smashing them together. But if I would have seen Starbuck, you know, basically summoning Dread Knight after Dread Knight with Second Life after Second Life, I would have got lucky. Better prepared. Yeah. There's a lot to do in this game.
I do have the most transcendent dreads in the game because of luck, and I summon them. But yeah, I mean, on that, obviously that we're going to want players to be comfortable with it. Share your wins, share your losses. I check out Sticks Intern's daily rugs whenever he posts them, and you know, it doesn't always have to be a win. You know, like that sometimes sometimes what you're going for isn't always what you get, but the hero that you have has some strengths to it. We always start with the basics. We're doing a tutorial right now. Shout out Ellie Fox. We're going through our tutorial right now, teaching basically what we summon for, why we summon for them, what these heroes can do for you, and then obviously we're preachers of the pet game, and that's one of those things too. It's like the earlier you can get on, you all have heard me say this before. The reason why I'm summoning so much now is because the tokens are where they're at. I can afford to summon. I could look at a 1500 crystal hero that 6 months ago would have just been a no way. I can't do that. To today being absolutely, I can afford that. I can put it on my roster. I could put it in a wallet that I'm not going to see. It could, you know, auto quest and level up. And I can come back to it, use it when I need it. All the while, they're earning revenue for me. And one thing that I love to see, if you all look on Twitter today, Poring put an awesome post about his experience with duels last season. He showed what his buy-in was and then what his earnings were from the prizes that he won and sold, and he's in the green in every single category. I think that as we have those wins, and the more people that see those wins, the more excited they're going to be. And again, like I said, the losses are still engaging too. If you're a streamer, sometimes people like seeing the losses just as much as they like seeing you hit the wins. It's like, oh my God, I can't believe he just burnt a legendary a legendary dragoon and a legendary sage and got a legendary archer with nothing in recessives. And it's those moments of energy where it's like the fact that you have the opportunity to do that summon is excites people.
Not last night, but last Thursday, Mythic Squad with Johnny, or what's his username?
Johnny from Cal.
Yeah. I was in the chat losing my mind because at what he was dark summoning. I still, my mind is blown, but he dark summoned possibly a top 10 hero in my mind. No question in my mind. Dread Knight with Second Life. But like I watched it live on the stream and I was like, why are you doing that? Like I was losing my mind sitting there watching it. And I think it's good content. Like it's fun. It's fun to watch and it's wild because I was like, oh my God. And he won. He ended up winning. Or I don't know. Winning might be the wrong word.
Second Life Dread with Toxic. That is
I mean,
all W's to me. I mean, the Toxic is the cherry on top for me. I'm jelly. And I've got a Second Life.
There's only like 20-ish Dread Knights with Second Life, but there's not many with Toxic. Like that, he might be the only one, to be honest. I think
it's down to like 10 or 15. I think there was 20 summoned, but most of them are dead.
Yeah. So
he created the other thing too is if you're
a hero on stream live, like that is wild,
right? And he's in Mayhem doing awesome summons all the time. He still currently has the highest rated trait hero. It's a ninja with double transcendent and an elite ability. Cool burned his triple transcendent bard last week or this week, and
burned that one. The double Second Life with Resurrection, right?
Right. He burned it and got a rare dragoon with just Resurrection.
Why? What?
Because the possibility of doing something great is when you try something great.
Oof, that hurts.
But what I wanted to say, if you are new and you're trying to get into the game, get a buddy to come with you. I mean, if you don't feel comfortable sharing with a large group, there's a lot of people like that. We have people that join our chats all the time that I've never even heard their voice. If you have somebody that you could share your wins with, it makes the game that so much better. Honestly, if I didn't have Mosh and B number one to bring me into the game, I wouldn't be here. But if they weren't with me, I wouldn't be here today. I've seen my investment. I came in the roller coaster at a different time where I haven't really seen those gains quite yet. But I believe in the project, and when you believe in something, no matter what, as long as you go all in and you don't think of the reasons why something can't be done, you think of the reasons why something can, you're more likely to have a better result. And like I said, when you win with other people, it's just that much more exciting.
Shout out to the Beeves children who are listening to our cacophonous ramblings. I mean, that's very true though, Starbuck. I mean, showing those wins and losses and having a community to be able to share those with. Like I think I've mentioned before, my wife's very supportive. And she's like, well, what did you summon? And I'll share with her like what I summoned. She's like, well, that sounds cool. Like, but you don't know how cool it really is. It's like super cool. And I'm gonna tweet about it. It's that.
Yeah, my
cool.
wife's wallet is better than many not Chads, but my wife's wallet is better than most would think, and she's very proficient in the game.
Is she lady new? Like, is she like a known? Like,
she's always been a lady in my book, baby. Last I checked.
Let me ask you guys a question. If we're on the show, or having come from the future, we were on the show, we won the show. as a community, and I say that because I know Maddie, you guys aren't, DFK, ADFK Guild, Starbuck, Mythic Squad, same thing, Six Intern. As a community, are we prepared to embrace it, that influx of new players? I mean, are we well equipped to be able to embrace them and say, hey, you know what? Welcome to DFK. We just lost, Risen, which I really love, and for whatever reasons, the team's smaller today than it's been in a minute, right? That's just the way things go and bear markets go. Does that concern you at all? Are we ready? What do you guys think?
I mean, I want to emphatically say like yes, because the experience I've had and the interactions I've had with everyone in the community has been like super positive and everyone's super fun, and like we get to do stuff like this where we're just like bullshitting, pretending, doing fun what ifs, and I've had a super fun time doing with it. Doing this and interacting with you guys, like I love it, and even less so like the Discord, for the most part. I'm anti Kirby feet, but other than that, I've had no bad experiences on the Discord and interacting with everybody. But I understand, like the gaming world can be kind of toxic and crypto, there's some bullshit floating around or whatever. And I think for the most part, though, the core people here who are involved, I think are pumped up to talk about this project and to get more people involved. So I think if there was an influx, at least the people we know now who are part of the core, whatever, what ecosystem, community, however you want to define it, I think they're going to be positive and they're going to be excited. So I think we're ready for the most part. If there was an onslaught of shitty people, we could deal with it. I hope so.
Been there, done that.
That's my opinion. I think, just based on what I've experienced here. But I mean, I don't know. And I think you guys would agree with that, right? Like everybody. Yeah, listen, we fuck around and we have fun, but like it's all positive for the most part, right?
It is. And I'm looking at you, Starbuck, because you. I'm not going to say you run Mythic Squad, but you're one of the faces of Mythic Squad, certainly. I mean,
that's who I go to if I have a question.
Just say it.
Mythic Squad is ran by Mythic Squad.
Very politically correct.
That's some bullshit though. Like, there's never been war in Earth realm. What's the Avatar quote? Like,
If you
there is
look
no
through
war
our history, you can see how much input the squad has on the things that change. Even just today, they wanted different icons next to their names, and is like done. Like we want to accommodate as many people as we can, but we don't want to be that group that forces people to do anything. I don't know. We run with a pack, and we think that obviously we've got leaders, we've got alphas in our crew that help us decide, is this the right move? Is this not the right move? Is this something that we want to explore? We were just talking today about different kinds of merch that we're trying to look at. And it's a collective. Like I could have put out a bunch of clothes already that I don't know if they would have hit. And Mosh and Beav have looked at them and been like, no, that's not what we're going to do. But I think that we give each other an opportunity to shine, and we try to be inclusive.
Okay. New people coming in. How is Mythic Squad going to respond? I don't need this internal Mythic Squad bullshit.
Before you answer that question, though, I like how
you let them know.
I like how Maddie was asking me to remember a quote. I only have bad quotes. I do. It sticks intern. That's a segue to you. Yeah, now it's on loop. There you go. It sticks intern.
It wasn't loud enough, but whatever.
It was loud enough. Loud enough. Okay.
Bad quote.
There you go.
Tell us more about the bucket of crabs.
So I've got bad quotes. I've got bad analogies and metaphors. Sticks interns, go.
And bad gas. But anyway, now I'll get to my answer.
Dare you?
The metric that is going to tell whether we are going to be successful at onboarding the horde that comes is whether we are able to promote captains out of the trickle that precedes it and expand this community with more teachers that are then ready to handle the big numbers. And we're going to have shitty people come into the guilds and they're going to cause drama and they're going to leave with the shitty people who came with them, or maybe good people who just like them. And they're going to go, that's how those other guilds are going to form that you were talking about. And like, yeah, sure, there may be some drama when they leave, but if they hang around, they're eventually going to get integrated in the community. And it's my opinion that it's going to be like up to us to train people as they come in now, everyone who's early, as much as we can, and identify as many people who want the keyword to be active in this community and help others learn the game and really give them the tools they need to do it. And that's how we will be successful at handling the 108 million people who come after watching us win.
Yeah. Christian, another shout out to your stream. If you've not caught it, I'm keep mentioning it because if it's a good one to catch. You had a great stream with the folks at Halliday. But I really believe that onboarding or making it easy for people to jump on the DFK is a step one on a multi-step process. Once you're in, I mean, as a community, are we ready to embrace that many people? I personally feel overwhelmed by the thought of 100 million people jumping on. 1 million people jumping on sounds overwhelming. What do you think?
You're at revenue though.
Yeah, tying it all together, Sarge. I think the original question was, are we prepared for the next wave? And I don't think so. I mean, to tell you the truth, we have, we've got a really good, tight, small knit community. But I think at the peak, there was probably 30,000, maybe 40,000 people, and they weren't really playing a game. They were just, going out there and speculating. There was a couple of quests that you could do, but even if you guys remember, it's like mining and gardening were beta. And I answered so many questions from people that said, I cannot figure out how to mine or garden. I'm like, you have to go to beta.defykingdoms.com if you want to do those two quests. So, we'll handle it as it comes, but I think that we'll do baby steps, right? It'll be, 1,000 people, 2,000 people, 10,000 people, but we'll start to see a really good kind of flow of new blood come into the game. And it'll be one of those things where you guys are exactly right. There's going to be some great people. There's going to be some not so great people, but they're just going to form those guilds that everybody loves to hate, and we're going to be like, all right, we've got to go to those MFers down tonight. We're going to raid their land. We're going to steal their sheep. We're going to, rape their women. We're going to do whatever we can do inside the game in order to make it fun. So it's going to be a great time. When we get together on Friday nights and we talk about like what's to come, I'm just excited about what's to come. I mean, it's going to be fun.
Okay. So 2 points on that. 3 points. 1, what the fuck? 2, but Sergeant, I cannot wait for your Friday night streams to be literally
beef flush
community. Like, let's bring the community together and talk about events that have happened in game. That'll be such a fun stream where like yes, maybe I don't appear because ADFK doesn't want to talk about what they're doing in game, and Mythic Squad is there talking about what they're doing, and we all watch. Like that would be such a fun idea. Anyways, though, that's not even the point I wanted to make. But
someday there will be VR for this metaverse that we're going to.
Oh my God, that'll be awesome! Yes,
we will see each other. We will be, we will be on the stages preaching the good word of DeFi.
But I think the point and now I'm losing it now because I have so many comments about what Christian just said. Every time Christian talks, I have like, I need to talk about all the things he just said. Anyways, I think like people coming in, I think it's not a. Granted, again, this is like a hypothetical. If they're on the TV show, we don't know, but it's convenient. If it's convenient that they've talked to Halliday and Swipe Lux and all these other people to make it easier for people to come into the game. I think that like the team is expecting this onslaught of people who might not have crypto experience. So I think it's going to be smoother than the way we're talking about it. I at least I hope. I think that's what they're building out for. And they've said, like, listen to the AMAs. They all talk like they just pretty regularly, but they say like, "Oh, something's coming, guys." Like that's how they talk in the AMAs. They always like say like there's they're excited about things happening in the future, and I think this onboarding stuff is related to it. So I think they know this onslaught of newcomers is coming.
I think
you know,
that with
yeah.
Swipelux, there's a big emphasis on the international markets because we're not using that here. It's one of those things that as a guild we're looking at how can we onboard a community, and I don't think the language barrier is going to be as big of a problem as we kind of speculate, but the more that we can communicate with these other guilds, the fact that we can have a potentially international presence ourselves, it's really enticing. I'm excited for it, and obviously that's going to lead to additional opportunities for many of the guilds and people within the community as well. And I'm excited to see, how much other people grow as well.
Yeah, and tying it back to that, I just wanted to finish it up with the team themselves. They're 25 people is what Bolon said, and what they've done though, which has been really strategic, is that they formed the partnerships now with the Hallidays of the world and the Swipe Luxes of the world and the Wisdom Labs of the world, so they don't have to grow like they did, pre launch, where they, I think Fox said they had about 50 or 60 people on the team, of which he didn't know a whole lot of them. Right now they're really tight. They know what they're doing. They're in their lanes, and they're really, they're performing at a high level, but they're also too knowing what they don't know. And they're saying, okay, you guys are good at this and you guys are good at that. You take this off of our plate. So those teams can scale. Cause when talking to Halliday today, they're like, yeah, we have 10 people, but we want to get another 10 more here probably by the end of the year. So that's great. That's 20 people that are technically going to help DFK onboard, those millions of people that are coming. That'll be really cool. And there's going to be so many other partnerships like that come up where hopefully they can keep the core knit of the team really tight, get the people when they need to, but not have to grow so quickly that it just messes up their whole momentum and their whole mojo and then in the entire scheme of things.
You mentioned something, Christian, I'm really excited about.
SI is burning. Let him talk.
Ironically, we want them to avoid bloat.
Let's hear it. Go.
Ironically, we want them to avoid bloat. That's all I had to say.
All right.
Bloat.
No, I love it.
One thing to add. Look at how much they're putting out right now, right? They're putting out a lot of content. It's coming out fast, and they're doing it on the budget that they have. The game blows up. That budget increases, right. That team increases. The amount of time that it puts out new features in the future, once they've laid that groundwork now, is just going to be, it's going to, I don't know, astronomical is the right word, but it's going to be significantly higher.
Parabolic.
Think about Beetle Dude having 3 mini Beetle Dude assistants next to him.
And this is a question for you, Christian, because I think you being a business person, having ran your business, and I know we've chatted on the side, you mentioned scaling being an issue, and I think that's the issue many businesses have in general. I think we can all sit here and be frank with ourselves and say that the first iteration of blowing up and making it big for DFK was maybe not a success. What lessons did they learn from that? And I know you spoke on this a bit, but what lessons would you sort of share with the team to say, hey, you know what? First time was not very good. I know you've made these partnerships, but here's some additional things you can do on top of having made those partnerships that'll make the next iteration of having to scale up, because we've blown up so successful.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think most people don't understand that businesses blow up for the main reason that they grow too fast. Most people think, oh, your businesses go under because they just don't have enough business. But when you grow too quickly, you implode from the inside. And we really saw DFK kind of almost do that implosion. But what they've done is they've taken a step back and they've really built up a strong foundation. I don't know if you guys remember, but I think it was I forget who the person was who was in charge of the API. Their game didn't have an application program interface. It was all done on the blockchain, and it was, a mess. And so once they got their APIs built out, now they can iterate to the next step, and then they can just build on top of that, and then they'll build on top of that. And I agree with you guys that I know that the development seems like it's going slowly, but really you want to be strategic about how quickly you grow. And you've got to have the pieces in place in order to grow at a rate that you can sustain. I think now with the challenges that have happened and the things that they've had to overcome, they're just in a very hardened mode where they understand that, okay, this is not a short-term thing. We're not going to be an overnight success and just, be incredible and going one line straight up. They're like, no, this is the downturn. We're going to weather the storm. In fact, Fox talked about this at an early stage. Like, he watched Axie Infinity and what they did and how they built, from 2017 until 2021, they didn't do anything. Their token was worth nothing. And then all of a sudden they hit that PvP section and they just skyrocketed. We're talking like 1,000x in a matter of a month or two. So it was just like, wow, if they can do that, I know that we can build a product that's going to do. I thought it was interesting too that the two guys on Halliday, their CEO and CTO who talked to me today, said, yeah, we got into this because we saw Axie Infinity. And I was like, how many people are going to say, yeah, I got into blockchain because I saw DeFi Kingdoms?
Right.
Oh, I love it. Maybe we end on this question then. Question for you all. We've won the next crypto gem. Let's reiterate that Maddie Pask. But you've gone backwards in time. We're here today. We're here now. How are you preparing, either as a content creator or a general DFK player? What are you doing today to make that that reality a more making you a more successful you?
That is a great question, and I'm gonna twist it and make it my own, obviously. And because I do want to talk to especially the panel here and Sarge. I want to hear you on this because one of my big questions when you told me you wanted to do the stream, one of my big questions was, and I imagine this, I don't know for sure, but on the TV show, it is not a bunch of GameFi projects competing. It is going to be a bunch of different crypto projects, whatever they may be. And then hypothetically, if DFK was involved, they'd be a GameFi project like involved. And my big question is, especially if they win, how is a GameFi project going to be compared to other DeFi projects right now? Because I think DeFi is the best kind of, or not best, that's the wrong word, but like is the most interesting kind of environment right now to be involved in that has the most potential. I think especially because centralized exchanges, there's weirdness and there's legal stuff, there's weirdness there. So DeFi projects are way more exciting. And within that umbrella, GameFi is a small, percentage of that in general. And so to see a GameFi project compete with other crypto projects in general, I think is going to be very interesting. And how let's say it wins. Let's say a GameFi project wins. Are other people who are within the DeFi world who are aware of crypto, how are they going to feel about a GameFi project in general?
I got so much.
I know.
I got so much too, but I'll get it started and I'll cue to you, Sticks in turn.
Is that a question?
No, it was a question. No, I think it was a question. And
honestly, this is a Sticks intern office hours question. To be honest, this is something we need. Sticks intern and I need to discuss at length. Ridiculously,
I feel like part of the answer to that, and it's sort of a biased response on my end, because I know the four of us, not including you, Maddie, had the pleasure of being at 3XP, having been in that atmosphere, having seen what was going on, the hype, meeting some of those streamers, and seeing it's a dotted line at this point for me, seeing the bridge between Web 2 and Web 3 as far as the gaming goes. I've been binge watching some of your shows, your episodes, Christian, learning about stuff like CK Zinc and what that can do for crypto or GameFi specifically. I mean, the idea of sort of it just fog of war. I mean, bam, like that's just another layer added to sort of the GameFi mix. It just seems inevitable for the Web2 community to say, hey, you know what? I'm not sure how much you follow gaming in general, but you may have heard of what happened with Call of Duty, where they said, hey, you know what? Thank you very much for buying all our stuff. We're closing out this realm. And, thank you for your money. It's non-transferable, but you can rebuy that stuff here. here shortly. I mean, the idea of you being able to sort of take your stuff from one place to another and it's yours, and make money off of the stuff you've earned. It just, to me, it just seems, the pieces are all there. Like I said, the dotted lines are there to sort of make.
But there's there, but no one has made those connections. I mean, no one's doing that actually.
Yeah, well, Christian Peters made those connections.
Well,
Christian Peters, an anomaly.
One man has done it. So
obviously,
therefore,
Crypto Jesus is
future is
walked on water.
I'm sorry, are we forgetting about Crypto Grady?
What I'm saying is those connections have been made by someone, right? If those connections have been made,
all of us want that, but the typical, in your example, the typical COD player doesn't give a shit or isn't paying attention to that. You know what I mean? And so,
all right.
My question is, all right, when presented with GameFi, how are people going to respond? I guess is my big question. Is let's say they're on the TV show and it gets public, it gets a whole bunch of eyes on it. How are people who don't think about GameFi and don't think about crypto at all? What are they going to say when they're presented with this GameFi? You know, in my opinion, the best example of GameFi, which is DFK. How are they going to respond to that? You know,
Sticks intern, attack, go.
So I actually believe that GameFi projects in this type of a format have a significant advantage over a traditional DeFi project. Imagine coming in as the early stage founder of Curve long before the Viper hacks were known, right? And you're standing there explaining elliptic curve pools to people and these formulas that are beyond, you know, the average viewer and then some. Right. And you're trying to develop sympathy and empathy and emotional connection in your audience to a project that is all about extremely complicated math and cryptography. But when you dress it up, when you put some hot, sexy pixels on it, a DEX becomes a market. A liquidity pool becomes a garden where your seeds grow. The metaphor adds depth that the audience can connect to and tangibilizes, it's a new word I just made up that sucks, don't use it, makes real in some way for the audience, like gives them something they can connect to. So I think as far as audience, I think in a comparison to DeFi, GameFi will shine. And from the crypto side of it, I think GameFi should be at least as competent as a DeFi protocol, because GameFi projects typically have to build a larger amount and a larger variety of smart contracts, unless they're doing like the pure Dragon's Crossing thing, where it's like they got the spell book, identify spell, equip spell, like that, you know. And DFK has 300 contracts on Clayton. So if it's about writing say there's a contest about hacking a vulnerability in a test net that they've set up, who can do it the fastest? Well, I know which one of the teams has looked at a wider variety of contracts. And say it's something about constructing an app that can accomplish a specific purpose. Well, I know which one has probably had more experience in doing tangential things as opposed to the single, you know, kind of horse with the blinders on focus that most DeFi projects rightfully have. So those are my initial responses. You also said something that was at the very end of your first round of the talking conch, and then Sarge took it. I don't remember what you said, but I will go back and because I remember thinking, oh, I had something. So I'll get that next time. Maybe
again.
Office hours.
I'll go on next office hours. We'll talk about it.
Starbucks Christian. I mean, that's a great question.
I think that the tangibilization of this hypothesis that you have.
I know I
think that the fact that it is based on a story, and like as humans, you know, we gravitate to stories as ways to learn, and they've made this game in a way that, you know, they've simplified the decks, they've gamified it, just like Sticks Intern said, they've got the garden, and a garden that you can actually see. They've made it to the point where if we were looking for a Fisher-Price style of way to educate individuals that are new to gaming and new to crypto in general, they couldn't have found a better place to do it. And I think that the fact that next crypto gem is going to be on that worldwide market, there's going to be what they're going to provide to the world is options of how they want to learn about that crypto space, even to just explore it and that's where a lot of us come in to kind of save the day for some of them.
Fuck yeah, clip it.
Christian, on to Maddie.
Yeah, I think it's great, and the one thing I look at is the people who are smarter than me say the blockchain is all about filling up blocks, right? And the blockchain that's worth the most sells the most block space. And what does DFK do extremely well? Fill up blocks. And it's a game that people play, but when you look behind the scenes, they're filling up a lot of blocks with a lot of information, and that's very, very valuable to every single blockchain project that's out there. So if you guys watched the Brown Gent and I, we had a really good conversation about top crypto projects and how many fees they were generating. You have Ethereum that's up top with like 5 million a day, but then you go down the list and some of the blockchain DeFi projects are making $10,000 or $5,000, and DFK is burning through so many transactions every day that I don't think people understand how valuable it is. When we were at 3XP, we talked to several different blockchain projects, and these guys were chomping at the bit to get any GameFi project they could onto their chain because they want to sell more blockchains. When we read DFK's proposal to Clayton, they tell them flat out, we're 10% of our chain transactions are happening on your chain, and you're getting 60% of your gas fees generated by our 10%. Wow, how much value is that to some? Ava Labs, who's a great partner of DFK, understands this, right? They're like, they want more people creating subnets on Avalanche so that they can sell more blocks. They have to have, that's all that blockchains really want to have. And if you have a game that's fun to play, and it's interesting, and it creates eyeballs, and it does everything that you guys already talked about. There's gardens. You lead people through. You take them step by step. If you want the Fisher Price, elementary version, you can do this. But if you want the advanced, super wowee, triple S, this is how we're going to do PvP. We got that as well. So I think DFK offers a lot to a lot of different projects, and I just think the value right now isn't being recognized by the general vicinity, because we look at it as like, oh my gosh, everything's down. But you guys, across the board, NFT projects are down 99%. You look at all the great blockchain projects out there that are down, and it's like, okay, yeah, DFK falls into that. But as soon as people understand, like, this is a project that's here to stay, and they're not going anywhere, and we're doing 2 million transactions a day, okay, now we're talking they're in a different realm than other projects. And I think it's we all see it. It's just once the world starts to see it, we'll look back and go like, wow, okay, we were right.
Maddie, I think my final comment to your question, and I mean this with full respect, because I know he says it himself. Grady's, I think, the perfect example to sort of combat your question. How do you get your average person to come into GameFi? Grady admits the fact that he knows of games, but he's not a gamer, and DFK was not only sort of a game he jumped on because he saw the big picture, it was a gateway drug to things like Dragon's Crossing, where he became like the number one wallet in the game. I mean, right? And he's not a gamer, right? The idea that we can sort of have him get the big picture of DFK, and I mean, he's just a great test subject to sort of help us see that, yes, it does transcend just gamers and crypto degens. You can sort of reach your average Joe, and I think that's the hope with this next crypto gem, that we do hit those average people and sort of bring them on. Any final thoughts there, Maddie, before I go to my original question?
I do want to jump on that and say, obviously, everybody, yes, you guys are all smarter than me, which I admit. But which I don't admit often. I do not admit that often. But I will say, I think in general, I'm very excited to see. I know we're talking hypotheticals, but if they were in the show, I am excited to see a GameFi project compared to some other crypto project that's not GameFi. I am curious on what someone who is well versed in crypto, a George R. Us or Leah or
Brian Evans,
whatever. Yeah, the last guy's name is. I do want to see how they respond, because they know crypto, but they might not necessarily know GameFi. So I'm very excited to see how GameFi compares to those, because I imagine I think in my mind DFK is the best GameFi project to put forward. I mean, granted,
No.
you know, that's maybe an opinion, but like in my mind, DFK is the best you can put forward. You know, I mean, you know, Axie, whatever, you can have your opinions, but like DFK, in my mind, if they put that forward, I'm very excited to see it compared to other projects and see how people who are in the crypto world, you know, how they judge it.
Same in the same sense. I don't know. Did you finish your thought?
Yeah.
In the same sense, you know, like it's hard for me to judge how the next crypto gem. Now, obviously we're speculating that they
Right.
could win it all and everything, but there's always the fact that they're done recording and they hadn't. I mean, there's no guarantee that they met our community outside of, you know, maybe some key players.
I mean, this footage could be used in the show. We don't know.
Oh, that's true. You know, well, we never.
We would know if we were from the future, Maddie.
Maddie. Well, I mean, I think the community that we have brings a lot to this game, and like it's the thing that has kept the most people here. If it wasn't for this community, there wouldn't still be a game. The fact that they're paving that runway even further with Clayton, like the way I envision it is like they position this with Clayton. Clayton knows something, and they say, "Yeah, we're going to sign you on." I imagine that because of DFK's ethics, they're going to skyrocket. They're going to go to the moon, and maybe one day, you know, that could be the best investment that Clayton ever made. But because Clayton helped build that first runway and help extend their second runway, they'll maintain connection. They'll maintain that bond or that partnership with them, even with other chains presenting advantages over them. Because in my eyes, that's the type of company that DFK is. I don't know where I was going with that, but there you go.
This is about the time we all sign off and get drunk and continue talking behind the scenes. There's a lot here to sort of digest as well, if you guys are open to it. I mean, going back to my original question, Maddie, and team, I mean, how are you guys preparing for the potential inevitability having been from the future? We're in the show and we want. I mean, what are you doing as a content creator? What are you doing as a DFK player? Are you doing anything different? Or is it, you know, status quo for you?
I think SI he wants to talk. Yeah.
Look, even if DFK were not to be anywhere on this show, even in like the application videos, this Hourglass Weight project and this first kind of venture that they're putting together is I can't speak highly enough of it because they are really pushing. They're doing what I've joked about on office hours a couple times. They're really pushing crypto into people's eyeballs and like forcing them to look at it. And it's so much of human psychology just comes down to like familiarity. And so if something's on TV, well, I'm not as scared of it as I was when it was just on the news reports with hacks and scams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now it's on this fun show. And like, it sounds dumb, and I've seen people on crypto Twitter say that it's dumb, and I've seen people on crypto Twitter talk shit on the hosts. And I mean, like, sure, maybe they have valid gripes, but you could probably have valid gripes with just about anybody. So I think
not me. I'm perfect.
Right, and I think getting too caught up in how crypto Twitter will react is like not a game we want to like really go down either. But even if DFK were to be on the show, I would be covering it. I'd be watching every episode. I'd be talking about it every week in my stream because to me, this is really a breakout moment for the market, and it's one of those ones that no one. I feel like even though we've been talking about it into our small communities and like the adjacent to DFK communities, I don't think a lot of people realize that it's going to happen. And so I'm, you know, how am I positioning? I'm getting my content in a good spot. I'm getting my graphics in a good spot to where it looks really cool and people want to come to my channel because I want to take advantage of the show regardless of whether DFK is going to be on it. I'll be dropping that $weight in every single one of my posts.
Christian, I want to pick on you. There was a question here. I was sort of, I guess I took it for granted. I presumed that we all knew about the show, and I'm calling on you because I know you were in Vegas recently with you know, Jet and Grady and George from Cryptos R Us and a slew of other people. Could you describe to the general public what the next crypto gem is and why we're chatting about it specifically?
Sure. I did a great interview with Jed. I know Grady has as well. The content's out there. So you guys, the next crypto gem is a 6-part mini television, series that's going to be based on reality TV. They're going to follow 16 crypto projects that are going to be on week 1, and then they cut that down to 4 from week 2 to week 6. And then at week 6, they're going to announce who the winner is. So it's going to be crypto projects. I don't know if they're DeFi, GameFi, or whatever, but it's just going to be different crypto projects that are out there. Come in front of these judges, where we've got George from Cryptos R Us, Brian D. Evans, who's one of the huge crypto influencers, and Leah Halburn, and she's got a huge following as well. So they've got all these huge social media experts. Plus, they're going to be in front of 100 million television. And Jet explained to me that it's going to be everything from Roku to Amazon Prime to just about any streaming service that's there. So, like Sticks Intern was saying, it's basically, we're going to be in front of all these people that are now going to be looking at crypto in a different light. They're going to see these fun people that are creating these really cool and innovative things that are going to be happening, and they're just going to start to get more involved with it. So I think that that's going to really lead to a little bit more mass adoption. And right now DFK is obviously positioning themselves so they can onboard as many people as possible for, not only the show, but hopefully the next bull run that's going to be happening here. And then back to your original question, Sarge, about how I'm positioning myself. I don't know if you guys saw my Twitter, but I released a contract on the DFK test chain this week, and I've been working on a couple of projects behind the scenes, but I'm excited to start building in Solidity on top of blockchains. I come from a first principles background where I like to get my hands dirty and see how this technology works, and then I can say, does it work well? Does it suck? Whatever. I just know that it's cutting edge, and it makes me feel like, wow, this stuff is really going to be around for a long time. I want to know what the best projects are. I don't know if it's going to be DFK or somebody else, but I want to get so involved in the nuts and bolts and how things work that I understand, like, okay, this is what makes Ethereum so cool. This is what makes ZK Sync so cool. This is what makes, all these different technologies out there really fun and cool to use. And if we do have that broadband moment where crypto goes mainstream, and that might be happening sooner than you guys think, because I've been talking with Grady about EIP 4844, which is going to be the next big Ethereum proposal that's going to happen in November, December. And that's when block space becomes much, much cheaper, and the magnitude of 20x cheaper than it is right now. So that's going to allow all of these layer 2s to be doing transactions that are going to be happening quickly, and they're going to be for pennies, if not parts of pennies. So that's when it gets fun, when things can happen instantaneously and they're cheap. That's when everybody starts to build on them. And that's what I'm really positioning myself for right now.
Cheap and easy. I love it. Starbuck. How are you positioning yourself? Well, specifically, I mean, again, as the unofficial head or founder, can I say founder?
Don't say that. No, you can't say that. Don't say that.
Hydra has many heads.
Yeah, exactly. Mythics. First off, I think you're muted, Starbuck.
Am I?
No, you're not.
Oh, there you go.
No, you're good.
No, you're not. You're good.
All right.
What are you doing? What is Mythic Squad doing? How are you guys prepping? You've come from the future. We know if we've won. What are you doing in preparation for that?
Well, so I mean, Mythic Squad's got a lot of stuff planned. We talked about it in our pack party last month. I want to say we're assuming, allegedly we're from the future, so they win. So we're gonna have our pack. We're going to have our pack watching streams. We're going to do our reactions to it. We're going to obviously discuss it in our chats. We plan on having a Next Crypto Gem channel within the entire feed where people can speculate in there, see what's going to happen next episode. I think that one of the things that we're excited to see is in any one of these shows, there's always a portion where your job is to pick holes through the other projects. And I think that's going to open a lot of our eyes as to what's been going on over the last couple months. Maybe, why didn't we see Scholar or Monk within the same time frame? There is a consistency shift, and there's obviously a reason for that. I think that the Mythic Squad in general, we're going to keep on grinding. We're going to keep on growing the way we've been growing. We've been preaching the way to summon and get the best pets in this game for quite a long time. our goal is to get as many people involved in the game as we possibly can. And I said it before, I'll say it again. Our goal is to win together. So if we can position our members of our streaming community to stream with more groups, if we can, partner so that we're all streaming together, and maybe, I don't know why we didn't add this stream to our Mythic Squad stream. It doesn't look like it was an option, but there's going to be an opportunity for us to collaborate as a community.
Is that a threat? Is that a threat?
Oh,
It's an invitation. It's an invitation. We're going to. Obviously, we're still growing today. We're in a bear market, and we have new members coming every single week, and we're trying to position ourselves where we have that education piece set up. We are collaborating with Unity to help get players onboarded, to help them have better understanding of the game. We're collaborating with other guilds too, and with other streams to see how we can help support the game's influence, or help expand what we're communicating with and who we're communicating with. And lastly, our job is just to hype up the community so that when we do have this influx of players, they have a reason to stay. Like I said, I came here for the game, I stayed for the community, and I hope that as we onboard more people, that's what they do. They're like, we love ADFK, we love Prime or Path to Gaia, or Honk, or we want to see everyone grow so that we can look back together and be like, hey, look at where we are now.
No, I love that. Yeah, you're staying tried and true to the Mythic Squad description here, which I appreciate for sure. Collaborate, collectively we grow. I love it. With that said, any final comments before I sign this off?
All right. Quick cue.
Go, cue it up.
Sarge, I think you are amazing at hosting, as always. You kill it, and I give you props for that. I would love a meeting of the guilds hosted by Sargent, where we discuss what each guild hopes to accomplish. Again, hosted by Sargent, as the neutral. You'd have to be neutral. I don't know what Honk or
Honk, motherfuckers. It's a guild.
I don't know how they feel about that, if they would allow you to be the neutral host.
What would be?
But I would love to see that. I would love to see a stream of that. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
What would actually happen on the stream? Do you just want to see the guild?
I don't know.
You
he wants punches.
I'm just like, sorry. I hear Starbuck talking about how Mythic Squad is the best. They're amazing. They're great. Oh, they're amazing. Oh, I
love that.
Heard you say those words the same thing, Daddy.
I love that idea. I think it's premature though. I think we need it. That meeting comes together once PvE rolls out.
Maybe.
Because I think the love maybe disappears there.
Because while I appreciate Mythic Squad, I think it's great. I think everybody, I love all the people there.
Right.
I think there is a little bit of rivalry, and there needs to be that, because otherwise there's no game, if there's no rivalry.
I don't think there is a rivalry right now. Like I said,
today, maybe not.
Yeah, today there's not. I mean,
okay,
it's kind of like what you hear Bolon talking about in the Web3 space. When you hear a Web3 company or outfit that's talking shit about another Web3 outfit, like, why? It's such a small fraction of the investment community right now. Same with this game. Like, I have no reason to shit on any community. And to be fair, there's communities that are taking their licks right now. There's some that we have had conversations with other community leaders, and it's all the time. There's a reason why we're collaborating so much, is because if we have to be a crutch to support another guild to help them thrive, and if they can grow, later we'll have more opportunity.
No, and I'm just saying. I think I want this to be a fun game where guilds actually have interactions. I'd be curious.
Look, Maddie, I'm just going to tell you this right now. ADFK and Mythic Squad are going to be scrimming each other to keep all these other upstart guilds
I mean,
in the dark
facts.
of the strats, and don't act
Yeah.
like ADFK
Yeah.
isn't going to want to be up against the freaking Dread
Yeah.
Syndicate, getting the best possible practice in.
Well-
You want to nurture this relationship.
Listen,
you don't
we
want
got-
to listen to those people
imagine
saying the opposite.
You know, we got
Imagine there
we
is
got
a
Apex.
raid where
says
imagine
many
there's a raid
trades.
where the prize
So,
is
like,
big.
I'm fine.
Imagine there's a raid where the prize is great, where the amount is life-changing money. You're telling me you want another
Well, no.
guild that's
No.
running with you other than the Mythic Squad?
No,
Who?
no. You misunderstand. I was talking about scrimming for PvP tournaments. So that would be practicing strategies with a rival, really, like in the red and blue sense from Pokemon.
I get it.
Or a
I'm just
friendly
saying,
rivalry, because you don't reveal all your strats to them, but you need to
But
practice your strats.
I do love the idea.
Failing to prepare is preparing to fail.
I do
so I'd
love
rather
the
have a
idea of
high-quality
like
practice partner.
a weekly or monthly
I think
like sergeant stream. That's like
just
guild
Starbucks, you guys
roundup.
are like
Guild
PvE,
roundup.
of course.
Let's see.
What you said.
Let's see what guilds want to talk. You know?
I love it. On that
Okay.
note,
Approved.
we'll end it. We'll end this stream with this. Everything you saw today was not financial advice. We'll catch you at the next one. There will be a next one. And who knows, hey, whether or not DFK is featured on this next Crypto Gem. I think, like Six Intern said, we all want to be able to chat about this stream because it's definitely going to be huge for the community. But with that,
And the
Starbuck,
community.
Maddie, Pass, Six Intern, Christian, on behalf of all of us, thank you very much for taking time to join us. We'll catch you next time.